As adults, we all have defined boundaries. Things that we label good and bad, and things that we actually refuse to engage in or do. These self-defined boundaries dictate the choices that we make in life, right down to what you may have for dinner, who you hang out with, what jobs you think are respectable. Have you ever asked yourself where these invisible boundaries came from in the first place? Why you have preferences? Why you label some things good and some things bad? Do you truly believe that these values that you carry or these beliefs that you carry are your own? Well, many of us have fallen in the trap of conforming to the norms in society, and this is called social conditioning. By the end of this video, I'm going to give you 4 steps on how you can look at your own conditioning in your life and how social conditioning affects us and can create a lot of suffering in our life, and we may not even know it. My name is Tess and I'm with Uncharted Depths. I help my clients break through limited core belief systems, addictions, and adaptations of the personality and coping mechanisms that were developed through childhood difficulties and childhood trauma. My mission in life is to walk alongside people on their healing journey and the journey back to themselves. We all have the capabilities to heal, every single one of us. If you would like to book a session with me, I'm currently offering free 30-minute discovery sessions, and you can book a session with me, and the link is in the description below. Being socially conditioned is having a set of beliefs ingrained within us through societal standards. So a lot of the choices that you are making are not actually based on your truth, possibly. You might think that it's your truth, but when we've been conditioned to believe certain things and believe that that's what we want because we've been taught to have a preference for that because it's the social norm, then we will make decisions based on that. So you might think that you are making decisions based on what you want and how you feel, but in reality, you've been conditioned to make those choices. This can be a hard concept to wrap your brain around because you say, no, I make my decisions every day. I know I'm the one making them. But when you start to peel back the layers and get really curious about your own social conditioning, you will see that it is in every corner of your life. Unless you have already done the work and brought an awareness to this and started to uncondition yourself. I talk a lot about going into our trauma and healing our trauma, but another part of that is looking at our conditionings, where we have been conditioned in life, where we've been conditioned by our parents, where we've been conditioned by society, where we've been conditioned by our experiences that have shown up in our life. We cannot be truly free within if we are so conditioned. We're not actually making those choices based on our own freedom. We're making those choices because we've been told to make those choices. So I'm going to give you a few examples of where we've been socially conditioned, and you can get curious about this once you finish this video and start to look into that and how it relates to your life. So we have been socially conditioned through beauty. The marketing world tells you what beauty is. Think about even what you wear, what clothes you put on. New styles come out every fall. Are you actually choosing what you want to wear, or are you being told what to wear? Somebody told me the other day, my skinny jeans are out. And if I had not done the work on my conditioning, then I might fall prey to that and feel like I need to go out and get the new cool jeans. But I like my skinny jeans. They suit my body. And I don't care that they're not in anymore. I'm going to wear what I want. And it's not based on what is in style. We have been conditioned to believe that we have to dress a certain way to fit in. This is social conditioning. More examples: how much money you make, status, social class, what car you drive, how successful you are, how successful your friends are, your reputation. Hollywood, big social conditioning through Hollywood. We've been conditioned through the stigma of mental health, and that is a fact. Through our sexuality, through gender inequality. What are your beliefs around women? What are your beliefs around men? We are conditioned through the education system, through the medical model, through popular culture, politics, religion. So you get the point. I'm not going to keep listing things off, but you get the point. There's many, many, many more. So step 1, get curious about your own conditioning. All the things I listed off just now, get curious and look within and see, where have you been conditioned? What are your belief systems in all of these areas? Are you someone who falls in line with the norms, or are you somebody who is outside of that line? Do you live a conventional life, or do you live an unconventional life? So step 2, a big one, is money. What is your conditioning around money? What is your conditioning around education to make money and certain careers to make money? Do you base your value on how much education you've gotten, or how much education somebody else has received, or what other people's jobs are, or what your job is? Is your value connected to this? Are you identified with your career and your education? Do you believe that your education and your career is connected to who you are, that your worth is attached to this? And if you answer yes, then there is social conditioning within that. We have been so conditioned to believe, get an education. If you don't get an education and you don't make this amount of money, you are not worthy. It is everywhere in our world. It is hidden everywhere. And people feel bad about themselves if they don't have an education, or if they don't make a certain amount of money. How much money we make and our status, there's no truth in that. It has nothing to do with who we are on the inside. But if we are basing our self-worth on these things, and you see that it's attached, well, there's going to be pain and suffering there. And you will be making decisions based on that. And when you can start to build a relationship with money by looking at yourself and how you've been conditioned by money, how we can be slaves to money, then your life will start to shift within, because you won't be so attached to material things. Do you believe that material things will fulfill you? Because we are told in the world, buy more, consumerism, buy all the things, get all the things, then you will be happy. But this is not true. If we base our happiness and our worth on what we buy, what we get, how big our house is, how nice our car is, we will never be happy and never be fulfilled. We can have those things. It's not bad to have those things. That's not what I'm saying. But are you depending your happiness on these things because you've been conditioned by society to believe that that will make you happy? Number 3, taking a look at your reputation. Are you attached and identified with your reputation? So this is a deep one and something that can be difficult for people to look at. But how attached are you to your reputation? Reputation is, again, a social conditioning. It's based on how others view you and how you view others. And if somebody does one thing that isn't in alignment with the norms, that can ruin their reputation in a moment. So our reputation is not real on a higher perspective. It's like high school in the real world, where people base their worth on their reputation and they base other people's worth on their reputation. Do you do things that you base your reputation on that have been conditioned through society and it's really not actually based in your truth? And do you judge others on their status and reputation? So step number 4, I want you to sit down and write down everything that you've come up with and ask yourself, did I really want this? Is this something that I really wanted? Or did my parents convince me to do this? Or did society convince me that this is what I wanted, but I didn't actually truly want it and I ignored that? Get curious about this. Have you been conditioned to believe the way the mainstream society works is truth? Are you willing to question that reality and see that we have been conditioned to believe certain things through norms, so through social norms? But does that mean that they are always true and they are always right? Where do these social norms come from? Why are they so influential in our world? How have you been controlled through these social norms? Sit down and write out where you have chosen to do things in your life where you can see that it wasn't actually you that chose it, and that you actually wanted something else underneath. And then write out a list of your wants, the things that you want, and the things that you wanted when you were a kid and when you were a teenager. Did those things shift? What influenced that? Have you followed your dreams, and were your dreams really yours? How authentic are you? Do you wear a mask to the world and hide behind this mask because of these social norms, because you believe that's what you're supposed to be and that's what you're supposed to do? When we start to question our conditionings and realize that we're living a life that we were suggested to live, and I'm not saying everybody, many people have broken out of this or are breaking out of this. And that comes with the awakening of the world right now. But we can get curious about it and we can change that and we can break through those social conditionings. It is actually very fun breaking through social conditionings. Some of them are really, really deep. But once you start to see how you've been conditioned and you get curious about this, you'll start to see it everywhere. But if you can bring a lightness to this and a curiosity and start to break those belief systems, then your life will change. You will change. You'll become more authentic. You're stepping closer and closer to your authenticity. If you like this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share with your friends. My name is Tess. Thanks for watching.